As I mentioned in my first video, Yahweh gave the name Jesus to his Messiah when he sent him to the world. So people may call him God's Son, because he wants to be God of this world. But in reality, he wasn't God's literal son. Similarly, there's another thing I want to share with you. We all know that when Pilate, the governor of Rome, was about to pass judgment on Jesus, there were two men with similar names, one called Jesus Barabbas and the other Jesus Messiah. He was known by just his first name, but the full name of that Jesus was actually Jesus Barabbas. He had three choices to set Christ release. First, he was considered innocent. Second, he hadn't broken any Roman law. And third, his own wife had a dream at night, which she shared with him in the morning, advising him not to do anything to Jesus Messiah and to let him go. So, Pilate released Jesus Messiah, but secretly, he had Jesus Barabbas beaten and presented him with injuries before the Jews, saying, "Here is your king." The Jews wanted Jesus Messiah to be killed, but Pilate intended to set him free. In his view, Jesus Barabbas was a criminal, associated with thieves and murderers. This was all part of a Jewish and Roman agenda that led people to mistake the two Jesuses. In truth, the real Son of God was Jesus Bar-Abba, known as Jesus Bar-Abba. When Jesus was in the Gethsemane garden, he prayed, asking if it was possible for the cup of suffering to be taken away from him, but ultimately, he accepted God's will, which was for him to bear the pain and provide salvation to humanity. Now, here's an interesting part. Pilate's wife had a dream. Just as we know that Mary and Joseph were shown the name of their child in a dream by Yahweh's angel. Similarly, Yahweh's Messiah didn't come for sacrifice, he came to conceal the identity of Jesus Barabbas, so when he was arrested, Yahweh showed the governor's wife a dream about him. It was a plan to help his servant, prophet, and Messiah escape so he could continue his mission. And so it happened. Pilate had Jesus Barabbas tortured, dressed him up in a robe, and disfigured his face so that no one could recognize who the Christ was and who the Barabbas was. The Jews wanted to accuse the other Jesus, so Pilate chose to have Jesus Bar-Abba punished instead. Now, think about it. Why would the Heavenly Father use Pilate's wife and a dream to save his son from crucifixion? It's his plan to save us as ransom. Reflect on the hidden reasons and truths behind how many secrets are hidden from the world to deceive humans.